The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned.
Yeah, but
The difference is it scales a little bit higher than Hunter's Mark, and the other thing too is the Unearthed Arcana was actually, they gave you a Hunter's Mark that you can cast a number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier, and it didn't require concentration.
Well, I know something that requires concentration.
Is it us starting?
It's us being live. Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what
Scotty,
I
is
thought.
it funny? Because I knew we were starting, because I immediately saw it. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, here we go.
I saw the look on your face, Vex. So I'm like, oh, you're watching.
Yeah, I'm always on the stream.
So hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Corruption Crew. This is our Retroverse game. We're down a couple of players because life is difficult
And pain.
I apologize if I am a little whoopy. I left work today because I had a toothache at that bad. So
Are you a whooper? Whoop whoop.
but I'm here.
Something about whooping.
You made a Pokemon joke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't know if Scott has it going, but if he does, Sirenscape is super cool. They have
I don't, but I will now.
Their best plan is $22 every other month for all of their board game and sci-fi and fantasy sound sets. They're really cool.
Yeah.
The one that I have going right now is Nebula, because it's a great one that's just there and doesn't have sirens or any weird shit. Does anybody want to recap what the hell happened last time?
There was a parade.
It was mostly just a big parade.
And
Gruk was wearing a ridiculously giant shirt on his ridiculously giant dire corgi body.
Mm-hmm.
What was the shirt for again? It was like for someone specific.
For
The
Cyberus
restaurant.
That's what
Restaurant,
it was. Yeah. Okay, I have Sirenscape up if you wanted to play whatever.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for resubbing Uncanny Adventures.
Oh. So. Sorry, I got
what
confused
else?
by a thing I just read.
Were there any? I don't think there were any Henshin there, right?
I mean,
Vex wasn't there.
At the parade.
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah, I was on the same float you were.
Oh.
I just
Dogs
didn't
can't look up. That's why I didn't notice.
Dogs can't look down. That's why he didn't notice.
Dogs only look
But
forward.
they can though.
What else
can't,
happened?
Kat.
There was a
You're-
T-shirt cannon. I know that.
And
with the
how
T-shirt
do
cannon.
they find food on the floor?
Oh,
That's just your imagination.
right. Demona
They
came
live
in
on
with
the
a
floor.
helicopter, and the demon dogs came in, did like a march or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
They put like a performance on
Mm-hmm.
to show off how cool they are.
Oh,
I have advantage.
Sammy gave a advantage roll to Passion.
For me to not die from doing stupid shit this today.
Mm-hmm. By spending Quackatrons. There's only little point systems on Twitch.
And I think we left off with Passion having met with another Henshin from her previous team. And I'll say, which of you would like to start out with what you guys are doing? I know Passion is still at Henshin HQ, I believe.
I think Cyberus and I are together going to some specific dude about corruption.
Yes, we can do that.
I have no idea where I am.
Lilies.
I
Probably,
think
yeah.
you're. Yeah, I
Meanwhile-
think you're back at Lily's already.
Meanwhile, in the far realm, Onyx is just like, I don't know where I am.
Though technically, I believe we left off. I just remembered. I believe we left off with Gruk in
Dark Radix.
in Dark Radix.
Hmm.
with a bunch of weird glowy stones that were shooting off electricity.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned coming back later because you weren't really equipped to gather any of these materials, perhaps with Cyberus and or Demona.
Mm-hmm.
You're cool.
I hope it was about that cute dog.
Oh, dog's so cute. Scotty's
that
folks
is-
got a new dog.
Mm-hmm.
And there it isn't.
That's not it. So Cyberus had, in asking around about how to gain more corruption, learned about a unique item called a corruption bud, that can only be obtained by a specific corruption druid in the city named Axon, who has 7 eyes and mushrooms growing from his skin, and that he lives in like a underpass swamp a few miles away from where you guys live.
Yes.
I'll say
And
you
Gruk wanted to go.
I'll say you also determined that he doesn't accept payment by coin as much, more so in favors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's most of what you know about him. You also know that the corruption bud, it gives you very unique but very powerful kinds of corruption.
I think Demona might have been interested, but she's not here, so we can tell her about it later.
I'll say that if she wanted to, you could pick up an extra one for her. You just have to buy them from the source.
Mm-hmm. I think her interest is mostly Cyberus finding a way to make them for her army or whatever, her gang.
Perhaps, yeah.
Just as one way to give them a boost.
Mhm.
But that's down the road.
So let's see. How do you want to get to Axon? Are you taking one of your many vehicles?
Do I know if I have to make an appointment? Does he have like a...
No, he's
Email
just a
address?
dude in a swamp.
Okay, good. Then I guess we can drive the van
Okay.
to wherever a road is close to where he is.
Okay.
And then walk the rest of the way. Unless they have fan boat rentals.
Unless they have what rentals?
Fan boat rentals? If they have like a fan boat, if it's out in the swamp, we can take a fan boat.
Yeah,
I'll
like in
say
Florida.
sure. That's fun.
Sweet.
Oh god, I hate this. Sorry, I just opened up a PDF and it did the thing where it's the 2-page view rather than scrolling.
Yeah.
Hello. You
Hello, what
guys
did I
are
miss?
you
We're
guys
taking
are
a
on your
fan boat
way.
into a swamp
That
to meet
yeah.
with that corruption druid.
That sounds nice.
You guys made your way to a underpass swamp a few miles away from home, and I'll say have rented a fan boat and are traveling through this swamp. It's interesting. The majority of Del Diablo is very industrialized. It's entirely like tall concrete buildings as far as the eye can see, with very occasional, very
Oh,
thick.
jeez.
Um,
I'm sorry. Reese is like spinning quackatrons like crazy. So first,
Nice.
Cyberus gets an advantage roll. Onyx gets
Oh.
an extra D10, and Gruk gets an extra D10.
oh,
And I get it one from Callie.
Yep. So I better.
That'll
work
be
with
useful if I have to use any charisma score.
I get a what?
You get plus 1d10 to your roll.
Any D20 roll.
Or, yeah, any for any.
and as you guys, but it's occasionally throughout the city are spattered sections of really thick, dense natural landscapes. So like for you guys, right across from where you live was that little park that's now just, exploded into a jungle. Here it's like walking into an entirely different part of the world. You immediately the buzz of vehicles and the world, the city behind you vanishes, and all you can hear are insects and water dripping and occasional birds and skittering things through the swamp.
You should be right at home.
Yep. It reminds me of home. Oh, come on. Everybody's going nuts in the chat. Okay, so I got another D10 from Uncanny Adventures, but then Cat got a disadvantage roll. And now Uncanny gave a D10
As if
to
Cat
Passion.
needs even more. As in Cat needs even more disadvantage for rolling.
That's brutal. That's just
Oh,
brutal.
man. Jeez, you guys
Oh,
are just
Jack's
spending the
popping
bank
off.
tonight.
Jack's popping off.
If I could... okay.
And
And
then-
Uncanny gave you a D10, Cat.
Okay, nice.
I was about to say, if I could, I would have gave you something.
Okay,
Now you can
I'll
roll
say
11.
the next roll that I do will have disadvantage, and then the one after that will have the plus D10.
Okay, sounds fair.
Knows
Because
this.
like I make up the rules, I could just decide that I put it on the one that sucks. So I'll say, as you guys are traveling through here, you do see both of you actually, because you what are your passive perceptions?
14, I think.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, Gruk, you do not notice it. Cyberus, you do. As you're sort of traveling through the swamp, you see a small movement of a color that doesn't make sense in here. Of like they're up in the trees, instead of just the green foliage, you saw a flash of yellow for a second, and then tracking the sound of it moving, you see scurrying around a corner of one of the trees ahead of you what looks like a skunk with a green mohawk down the line of its back where the white would be, and its tail is this bright yellow, canary yellow color, and it's just sort of watching you guys.
I'm going to turn to Gruk and say, what's that?
Oh, it's just some kind of corrupted creature. Don't worry about it.
All right, then.
You know what?
I will continue
Can
to
I roll like a
ignore
nature
it,
check
unless...
or something?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. So to catch you up on the crazy things going on in chat, I gave you another disadvantage.
Oh,
Cat.
Jesus.
And Uncanny Adventures wants to make sure everybody hydrates.
I don't
Wow.
have water up here. Oh no.
Okay,
Oh.
so for the sake of like us like
Fired.
keeping the game going, I'm not gonna announce what's going on in chat anymore, openly on mic. But thank you, everybody. You can keep doing
Thank
it.
you.
I'm not
It's awesome.
discouraging it. Nature check, right? Nature.
Used up all the advantage rolls.
I will use my D10 because that was embarrassing for a druid. Okay, that went from a 2 to a 10. Sorry, a
You've not seen
4 to
you've
a
not seen
12.
this specific creature before, but based on its coloring, you're guessing that it's probably affected by corruption, considering that's not the normal color skunks are. But other than that, you're not entirely sure what else it's capable of. But you do you both do see after that one, you start hearing more movement and see much larger ones start to show up. It seems like the first one you spotted was a baby. The others are actually small size. And they just seem to be perching around and watching you guys.
Will I spend a spell slot?
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I'll spend a spell slot. Why not? I cast Speak with Animals. And I
I'll
say,
pull over the boat.
And I say to them, How does it go? How does it fare? Good morrow.
What? Hi?
Hello.
Oh, he's talking to us?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Oh, hi. Wow, it's not that many people that talk to us. Okay. Hi. How's it going?
It's
It's a
going
loud
good.
boat you got there.
Oh, yeah, it's a, just a boat. I don't even know where we got it. I kind of zoned out for
You
that
guys
part.
rented it.
Oh, anyway. So,
Fill up a truck.
do you know of any druids around here?
They sort of look to each other. And they're like, well, there's many eyes. He's here.
Many eyes.
Mhm.
Are they nice?
Further in. He's nice to us, at least.
Okay.
Sometimes mean to other people,
Hmm.
but not us. Very nice to us.
Well, we're going to visit, so hopefully we will get the same welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
I'm keeping it easy, so bye.
Mhm.
I mean, we're kind of moving anyway. So.
So you guys travel through this swamp for probably about an hour or so, which is it's larger than you expected. Until you start to see a hut in the center of this area, and it's a strange amalgamation of like natural, like a natural wooden hut with thatch roof, and then surrounded by like a dock of salvage scrap of like what looks like a car hood and several different I don't remember what they're called, the like concrete barriers on a highway
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. And sitting on the dock with his feet in the water is a humanoid man feeding what looks to be a crowd of these strange corruption skunks.
I'll pull up to a polite
Uh,
distance and
As soon as he sees you, all of the skunks actually sort of like notice you and startle, and most of them take off. There is one larger one that stays though. The man sort of gets up and like shakes the water off his feet. He's a humanoid man with dark brown skin, peppered with collections of mushrooms. Very long fingers and 7 eyes. So 2 rows of 3 and then 1 in the center.
I greet
And
them.
sort of walks.
I greet them in Druidic.
Hello. I've heard that you were looking for me. And I'll say that you recognize one of the skunks that's now hanging out on the roof of the hut has a like tuft of yellow on the forehead, similar to the one that you talked to, Gruk.
Hmm. Yes, we
He sort of
Go
doesn't
ahead.
nod.
Go ahead,
I am
Cyberus.
Axon.
Oh yes, I heard that you had corruption buds, an item of great rarity and value.
Oh, you're here for the corruption beds, of course. Well, I suppose
Is
I
that
don't have
bad?
guests. No, it's fine. I don't have guests that often. So come on in. Let's get a drink and tell me about yourselves some.
I don't get to meet many that are of the same circle as I. My name is Gruk. Offers a hand.
That's. He shakes your hand. He's like, that's. Many of the majority of the druids here are corruption druids. You just have to know where to look. He invites you into the hut, and inside it's that same strange mixture of. Sorry.
I'm gonna
so
let him. I'm
cute.
gonna let him out.
That same strange mix of like very primitive technology and very advanced. He has like rough cut tables, and most of his chairs are just like logs that are stools. But he also has like a really expensive coffee maker and like a wood burning stove that, and then off on the side like a electric rice cooker, effectively. He sits
Delicious.
down and pulls out, opens up like a a proper like wooden chest, and as he opens it up, you can see there's like that condensation of cold leaving it, and he pulls out a couple of cans of beer.
Gruk accepts.
None for me.
Oh, okay. So yourself.
I have a condition. I can't drink beer.
I also have tea, if that works.
Yes, sure.
Okay, I can do tea. And he reaches in and pulls out like iced tea, a pitcher of iced tea. So why are you looking for the corruption bud?
Well, I have a great interest in studying corruption, mostly in studying how to get specific versions or levels. And the corruption bud seems to be the best way to do that. And I was hoping to acquire one to study and then use on myself, and then also study some more after that. Ideally, I'd be able to make my own in some fashion at some point. But if that's a deal breaker, I can change that idea.
It's like, I'm perfectly willing to share it. It's not a thing. I mean, I discovered it. I didn't create it. I will tell you it is a very difficult plant to maintain and keep healthy, for what it's worth, but it is definitely worth it. And he says, yeah, no, you would want to see it here. And he moves the like sort of hip checks the table out of the way and reveals a wooden trapdoor in the floor, and opens it up to reveal like a ladder going down. And he climbs down, and climbing down, the lights down here are the sort of like bare bulb, bare minimum lighting, and reveals a wooden or a like earthen tunnel supported by wooden supports, and he heads down that hallway.
I'll follow.
Yep.
Is it like too dark to see?
No, it's lit well, decently. And after about 40 or so feet, it opens up to a large room that has a very strong, like, earthy, composty sort of smell. Not like the smell of manure, but very, like...
Rotted vegetation.
Yeah, that. And you guys walk into a much larger room that... looking up, you can see the roots of various trees and things from the swamp sort of make a sort of like igloo shape around a dome shape around this room. And in the very center is a mound of dirt and a very strange sort of like crumpled over plant with several different color flowers on it. That is fed by a small moat of water.
Is this the? Is this it?
As soon as you guys approach, the flowers on this plant actually turn towards you, and like the stem sort of like lifts up a little bit, almost as if it's reacting to your presence.
Gruk tilts his head.
Can I sense if the plant is a creature?
It is not a
via
creature.
corruption?
It doesn't seem to be a creature.
Interesting.
What were you saying, Gruk?
He tilts his head, and I'm pretty sure I got this prepared. What level is it? I'm gonna cast. Yeah, there it is. I'm gonna cast Speak with Plants.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
You aren't looking so well.
It's better when there are others around.
How is it better?
Well, you get corruption. That's what I feed off of.
Interesting.
It's a lot. Things been getting harder lately. It's not easy growing in like this in a den. I'd prefer to be out in the wilderness.
I bet you would.
Yeah. Don't do too well though. Those things like to eat me. And the flower just sort of like jerks slightly in the direction of the druid, and you see behind him one of the corruption skunks just sort of like peeking behind his legs, staring at the plant.
Hmm. Well, I'm sure this caretaker's doing a great job making sure you're not getting eaten.
Yeah, he does good. Yeah. Could use some more corruption, though. Haven't had any fresh stuff in a while.
Excuse me. Cats from another plane of existence are wrestling in a room. They were peeling out, that's what you heard. But Gruk will, ask him, may I?
Oh, ask the druid or ask
Yeah.
the plant?
Druid.
It's like, yeah, sure.
I go up to the plant and I say, well, I can feed you. And I offer a handout for within contact reach.
As soon as you do, one of the like vines that had been wrapped around the stem sort of unfolds out and wraps around your wrist, and you for a second it just stays there, and you're like, okay, this is awkward. I'm holding hands with a plant, and then you feel thorns poke you.
Before the thorns thing, Gruk would look at Cyberus and probably be given a look like, maybe write this down up here or something for future.
I'm paying very close attention,
Yeah.
even though I can't understand what you're talking about or doing.
Well, that's the weird thing about speak with plants, unlike speak with animals. It's like a one-side conversation for you.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah. Take good notes.
And except instead of you expect like the blood to drip down in your shoes, Gruk, but it actually flows down that vine and down into the soil of the plant.
Do I take any damage? So I'm fine if I do. I was expecting. That
You
to be the
actually
case.
it doesn't feel like a lot, but when the vine releases you, you realize it actually got deeper than you thought. You take 6 points of piercing damage. Not a lot, but perhaps more than you expected from a regular ass thorn.
I wrap it around with some cloth just to stop
and
it from bleeding.
The flowers and the plant itself definitely rises up and gets a lot stronger and taller looking.
What all does it take?
The flowers, just a few seconds. It reacts actually really quickly.
No, I mean like corruption-wise.
Say that again.
I mean like corruption-wise, how much did it take? Because it feeds off.
Oh,
the
it
corruption.
doesn't. It doesn't
levels.
take your corruption. It took your blood.
Oh.
I got tons of that.
the druid sort of looks over at you guys, and it doesn't feed off of corruption itself. It feeds off of the being of things that were corrupted. It's what most of the compost is.
Very interesting.
So you just
also,
put
it's
How
very
it-
it's very polite for being a carnivorous plant. And then Gruk will step back.
It's polite because it thrives off of variety. The reason it looks so sad and pathetic is because it's only been feeding off of me for the last several months. And it knows what I taste like. It hasn't tasted you guys yet.
Have you tried flavoring your blood?
No.
You mean like blood transfusion? Kind of defeats the purpose.
I meant like seasonings. I don't know how its sense of taste works.
Just fucking inject some soy sauce.
You'd mix it in like a thing.
Soy sauce. Psh, it'd be teriyaki.
Sriracha, if you're
Or
adventurous.
if you get takeout at a restaurant and bury the food.
Put Demona
you
sriracha.
literally have a chance to say if you're feeling spicy,
Oh,
and you
God
went with
damn it. I am a fool.
So does this plant have any like buds on it, or is it just flowers?
Actually, yeah. As the flowers get brighter and open up more, you can see the inside are these buds that are about like yay big. And he sort of nods to him. And all of the flowers are different colors, but the buds sort of, depending on where you look at them, they seem to shift different colors depending on what direction you're seeing them from.
Oh, that's really cool.
He says, you take one each, and then I implant it into you. It goes into the base of the spine, and it will grant you a new corruption effect over the next couple of... It depends on how long it takes. I think it's usually between like 24 hours or so. Effectively, it'll happen after a long rest.
And what should we give you in return?
Do you choose what effect it gives, or is it just luck of the draw when you pick the butt?
The corruption chooses you.
Yeah. It really depends.
So you haven't found a way to get a very a specific result based on.
He's like, well, I know that it can grant. It has 6 specific effects that it can grant. Which one you get kind of depends. I have the one that allows me to smell things from much further away. Basically,
that's the one I heard is the best.
Another favorite is the one I call Chemical Factory, which basically makes your blood produce a variety of strange liquids. I had a friend who had one. It could be a hallucinogenic drug or a stimulant, antitoxin, healing. It's very unique. That one's definitely a favorite.
So is it like when the blood makes contact with the air? Or is it just that effect of the blood is constantly going through them? Because if it's a hallucinogenic, I'm not sure if I want my blood constantly doing that.
So the way it is oh, that's way grosser. It's not actually blood. So your biological system becomes a factory to create useful liquids, which you sweat out over an hour. Creating a... I'm going to say probably... yeah, they're not that bad. Creating a total of 1d6 doses, which lose their potency after 1 week. Each time you activate this ability, roll 1d8 to see what substance you produce.
Actually, it lasts a lot longer than I expected.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't remember it.
Fascinating. Where did you find this specimen?
I found it actually.
Was it feeding off of something when you found it? Like, was it on top of a pile of compost, like as you have its habitat currently, or was it something that was more closer to the water and acted almost like a water lily, floating on top of it?
It prefers this sort of semi-aquatic, like it prefers a swamp. It likes to be near the water, but in soil. It doesn't thrive actually in standing water. Where I found it was actually a corruption forest It was near to a lot of mountains. Oh, it was so long ago. I'm having trouble remembering. I think it was near the place called Ghoul Town. Was that it? Maybe. He's like, it was many years ago. I'm much older than I actually look. And there are others that I've seen, but you have to be very careful because it's very easy for them to be overindulged from, and that kills the plant. You can see there are currently 7 flowers on the plant right now, and each flower has 1 bud.
So, what do you mean by overindulge? Like,
Well,
what kind of range of time are we talking about?
If you take all of the bulbs and all of the buds, and there are none left, it tends to die within a couple of weeks. And many I've seen in my various adventures have had that happen. It's why I built this sort of den around it to keep it safe.
Good that it
Especially
doesn't need sunlight.
because even there are some people that would overindulge on it that don't respond quite as well to diplomacy. And he reaches down and scratches the head of the skunk.
So they eat it then.
Yes, it's why they have a much more subtle version of the chemical factory effect.
Oh, okay.
In the spray.
I see.
Theirs isn't quite as powerful as
Just imagine a
straight from
Technicolor
the,
skunk spray. It's like prismatic spray, but a skunk spray.
Not quite. He says they tend to emit various different clouds that have different effects. There is a sleeping fog, poison. Oh, one of my favorites is the laughing gas. Thanks.
So how much for these buds?
It's like, well, typically I ask a favor.
Name it.
And
We're accomplished
I can
adventurers
see
and we're
that-
quite famous.
famous.
Well, I mean, that doesn't really mean anything, but we have resources and connections that you may be unaware of beforehand.
So I can see that you are a corruption druid as well.
Yes.
And
Me? Oh, him.
I presume you are
Just a humble chef and scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's not all I am.
I would love more samples. There are areas that I don't risk going to any longer for fear of the dangers that lie there, especially on the other side, if you will. In the Underverse.
I
And
understand.
occasional quests into the grid.
We've been there.
Which one?
Both.
You name it.
But so
Actually, it occurred to me you guys have been to the grid. You've been to both.
Yes, we have.
We've been everywhere, man.
So what would you be in need of?
I need new aspects of corruption, new things that you can get your paws on. If you
I'm gonna
have
pull out
the
the wrapped
ability.
up gug arm that I have in my backpack.
God, that thing probably stinks to high heaven. Though it's only been like a week, but it still probably stinks to high heaven.
A week's
I
definitely
think it
enough.
probably stunk before.
A week's definitely enough
Yeah.
time for it to stink.
A couple of hours, I think, is enough time for it to start to have a scent.
Mhm.
You never know when you're going to
Sort of
need something.
percent
You just hold on to it.
It just normally has a scent to it.
That is peculiar. Where is that from, if I might ask?
This is from a gug, which is a thing that comes from the realm of corruption. It came through one of those tears that are called
A fray.
a fray. Yes, it came through a fray.
It came through from a fray in Rosa Gallica.
Right, and there was a
Ah.
bunch of stuff going on that we won't bore you with, but
I know frays are different depending on where you are on Reddit.
They are. I've heard that they've become a lot more common recently.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
don't
we
really
think
have
someone's
them
behind
here
that.
in Del Diablo, but oh really?
it'll be in the news at some point, I'm sure.
I don't really follow the news.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. So you bring me several samples of interesting things that you can find. And perhaps since you seem to be accomplished adventurers, I'll reach out to you in the future for another favor.
Gruk takes his backpack off, and he rummages through it, and he presents on a nearby table a stone fruit, a tatters
Oh shit!
of a hanik, a flutterflesh bone wing, and skull shards. Would you be interested in any
Ooh.
of these? I'm a collector myself.
He takes the fruit and the feathers. That was one of them, right?
Yeah,
the
no,
flutterfish?
yeah, it was. I think I already gave
The,
the
like,
feathers to
shards.
somebody. There was skull
Oh, okay.
shards and a bone wing.
The bone wing, then.
Okay.
He'll take. He's like, these could be interesting. Could make a wand from this, possibly.
I think the stone fruit was like a pear, that like petrified.
Mhm.
I don't quite remember.
Yeah. It was from when you guys spent forever in that, like, psychedelic garden thing in Dark Radix.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks over to the plant, and Gruk, you see the familiar gestures of him also casting Speak with Plants. And then he leans down and looks at the two of you, and he says, "Do you have a preference which color, or shall I pick at random?"
Is there
Surprised me.
is there any way to ensure that I get the keen smelling one?
I will say that those do tend to come from the red and orange blossoms. So I could take one of those.
So there's no way to tell. It just
You can get closer.
Mhm.
It's not a perfect science.
Not yet, perhaps.
Effectively for that, I'll allow you for that one you can roll twice. And
Mhm.
If one of them is the keen scent, you can have it.
Great.
Ask them which one they think I should get, depending on how I tasted. Since you said they seem to like different tastes. There might be a connection.
Who are you talking to? The plant now?
I'm talking to the druid and asking the druid to talk to the plant. I think I still have concentration on it, but I don't know.
If it helps, I can bleed too. On the plant.
Okay. I'm actually
It would appreciate it. It likes a variety of meals.
All right, let's
it
see what I
definitely
can do.
would, yeah.
I guess I'll let it could use its thorns on me. I don't want to pull out my giant cleaver or something.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
All right, I'll feed the plant.
You know you're a little too badass when it's like, plant that can kill you. Yeah, let's let it nibble on us, whatever.
Stick my
I mean,
whole arm in there.
it
That's to
did
get
like
past
6
my 10 hit
damage to
point.
you. It's not gonna kill you.
It's still...
Does
you
it
know,
need to go
it's still
through my 10
something
hit points?
What?
So it does have I'll say for Gruk, the plant suggested for you either the violet or the green.
Go with the violet.
So, Luke, go ahead and roll 2d6 for me, please.
That's how many levels you lose permanently.
No.
They're both ones.
Wow.
Okay, reroll one of them.
Okay.
You roll another
That is
one.
a cat roll.
It's a 1 again.
Yeah!
You want me
Yes.
to keep rolling until it's not a 1?
No, you gotta keep... No, fate is telling me it has to be 2 damage.
I think so, yeah. Oh no, that wasn't
I
the
thought-
damage.
Oh,
Sorry.
Well, whatever that is.
That was for determining what bud you get. The damage is 5 damage.
Barely noticeable.
Yeah, basically.
And to say,
and
did you
then-
start yet?
It's just gonna hold on to you as long as you're gonna let it. Gruk can roll 2d6 as well
Oh.
to determine his what his bud does.
Oh, you got... Okay, good. One of them was a 1. I got worried. 4 total.
Oh, each separately.
Oh,
If you could.
3
Sorry.
and a 1.
A lot of 1s.
So I will say, sitting down with them, he plucks them and then sits down and meditates with them for a few moments, and says, "Very well. Sorry, my computer was being very slow there, loading the screen. Very well. If you sit down, I can begin the implanting process. It feels strange, but it shouldn't hurt very much.
I've already died and been reincarnated once before. Can't be too bad. And Gruk sits down.
Interesting.
Leans
Okay.
forward, kind of like, like he's getting a giant back tattoo or something.
And he puts this bud to the base of your neck, right above like your last vertebrae, and you feel almost what feels like a bee sting. And the bulb is now sort of implanted in your spine. You can sort of feel it there holding on.
That's nice.
And he says, "And over the next 24 hours or so, it will let its effects fill your bloodstream, and then it should fall off while you sleep."
How long does this last?
Until you remove it. Certain magics can remove it,
Oh, okay.
but otherwise it stays with you.
That's
I
good
still
to
have
hear.
mine, and I implanted it 8 years ago, I think.
That's good to hear. Real quick meta question. So, as a corruption druid, when we roll in the corruption table, it lets you like choose the neighboring things. Would you allow that for this thing?
Okay, yeah, I'd allow it. So you got a 1 and a 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the 2 that you got was either Chemical Factory, which is the weird one that gives you all kinds of different stuff, or Adhesion Pads, where climbing doesn't cost you extra movement, and you add your proficiency bonus to athletics checks for climbing.
I would go with the adhesion pads.
Okay.
I think that one would be more frog-like. I think that would fit me better.
And Cyberus, you have yours implanted. And I'll say because you don't have the same ability, you're not 100% certain what exactly it does, but it is implanted now. And sort of
Well, based on the 3 1s I rolled, I think I can guess.
potentially, yeah. He stands up and shakes his hands off. He's got like some of the sap of the plant on him. So, I would avoid any strenuous movement. You don't really want to knock it loose, but other than that, you should be fine.
Good to hear.
How would I go about acquiring one of these plants and then attempting to cultivate one of my own?
It is technically possible to grow one from a bud, although it's very difficult to do. The better bet is to what is that word? When you have like a starter.
Transplant?
Yes, when you have a small one in the wild, and then plant it somewhere safe and cultivate it that way.
All right, I could look for one, I guess. And then like dank, wet dirt with lots of corruption blood?
Tends to be, yes.
I can handle that.
I can help you take care of it, but I'm not sure where we would store it.
I think our mutual friend may be able to get us a special room. I'm talking about Demona. We could set aside like an area of a lab that's full of compost and dank.
How big is the lab room that we have? It's probably fairly big.
I don't know. We could
It's
always
not-
requisition more.
Depending on so this room that you guys are in is probably about 10-foot radius, and the plant is about 5 feet tall, but pretty skinny.
Mm-hmm.
But the entire floor in here is entirely soil, so you're not sure how far the roots go. But you're guessing that the room that you have is probably not suited for it, just because it's entirely metal. It doesn't have any natural surfaces.
Yeah,
It's
I was just
tile
thinking
and everything.
we would make a plant bed for it.
Mhm.
But I was like, is there enough room in wherever location we got? Okay.
It
Maybe a
might not be
rooftop
the
garden.
easiest.
A rooftop garden might work.
I already have so many flowers up there, though.
Yeah, but how many of them give people powers?
That's fair.
But
Probably
Accent
not
says,
many.
I found, for what it's worth, I found this one in Ghoulville, though I've heard rumors that there are others in Chernobyl and Rosa Gallica.
That is useful information to know. Are there any, since I've shown you a few of my things, are there any special trinkets that you found on your ventures?
I've seen a few.
Just pulls out a xenomorph skull. Oh, interesting.
I'll say he takes you back up to the hut, and pulls a long heavy box from under the bed, and inside you can see all manner of different vials full of what looks like, some are probably actual potions, and then all manner of different spell components and different things. There is a massive neon green scorpion tail in there. He's like, this little devil was quite a problem. Yeah, he ran into him in the area of Mordor. Tenacious bastard was guarding
You walked in there, didn't you?
Yes.
Not,
It was.
not supposed to simply walk in there.
I'm aware.
Even I heard that.
I think that's all that's really known about Mordor.
This one was guarding guarding a wizard's tower, actually. Found a couple of nifty things in there.
How big is the scorpion tail?
Based on the size,
Like a giant
the scorpion, the tail
scorpion
itself,
tail?
yeah.
Okay.
Probably the creature that it belonged to was easily large size. if not bigger.
So it's not an imp's tail, because imps
No.
have scorpion tails. I was just thinking maybe from something more supernatural, but still interesting.
You could learn to grow one of those, right?
Well, I can find we could find giant scorpion eggs and raise them, but I don't think Del Diablo really has the right terrain to be raising scorpions.
No, I meant from your body.
A scorpion? Oh,
You always like
Yes, I could.
doing a bunch of weird animal things.
Yes, I could.
Weird and beautiful, I mean to say.
Not one as magnificent as that, though.
He then pulls out a jar about like a big, like a mason jar that has what at first looks like a dead snake. And he takes the lid off and pulls it out, and it's very fragile and very old. And he says, "This one I didn't actually encounter on my own; was gifted to me by another friend. It's long dead. It is like a worm-like creature, and at the very end, where like the head would be, is a lamprey mouth. He
Some
said
kind
this
of
is
leech?
the very much smaller version of it. I heard say that the creature it comes from is about the size of you and I, and has many thousands of these little things. They're very bitey. Apparently this one held on even after he killed it. And he shows you just a bunch of other strange things that he's seen and encountered in his adventures.
Grok would also give him some small talk. He's enjoying the conversation with a fellow druid. Maybe at one point he asks, "So, what is your view on those that attempt to cure corruption?"
It's like, well, I understand that. Sorry, stuck to the chat. He's like, I understand that there are some layers that are more unpleasant than others. Obviously, the ones that force you to the ones that put your eyeballs on your hands is much more inconvenient for most people. I personally do not have anything against it. It is, of course, very much against city law, but I can understand why one would prefer to have a layer removed or at least suppressed.
It's very understandable. Cyberus, we're not in any rush, are we?
No.
Would you mind if we stayed here?
You want me to leave?
Until the
Oh,
events,
okay.
Came to fruition?
Sure, I
No.
got some stuff to do, but not
That's
today.
fine. I have cots that I can pull out if you'd like.
I guess we have to sleep on our front.
And Grok, I guess, will just like meditate and stuff. And he's thinking about a 14th level ability he forgot to add. So.
Okay. So the next morning, Gruk, you awake to you like put your hand down to sit up and find yourself sticking to the cot a little bit as your adhesion pads are now active. I'll say that you can like activate them and deactivate them just when you first woke up. You weren't really sure what the fuck was happening. And Cyberus, upon waking, go ahead and roll me a d8.
How many levels of exhaustion you have?
4. I hope it's not 4 levels of exhaustion.
No, me
not
neither.
4
Oh
levels.
god.
I mean, considering I think exhaustion goes up to 5 levels,
It
and
goes
then
up to
you're dead.
6 is death. That's why I was.
Six is death.
That's why I was joking. The D8 roll.
5, you're effectively dead, though.
You awake, feeling like a lot like sweatier than normal. Wunaris don't really sweat all that much, but
I'm going to be panting this stuff out instead of sweating it. It's going to be psychoactive drool.
fuck it, yeah, that's cool as hell.
I was about to say that would
It's
actually make a
hilarious.
lot more sense with the Winari.
Yeah.
With how weird this trait is, anyway.
I'll say that you're aware that this is probably the chemical factory effect, but you're not entirely sure exactly what this one does.
Well, I should have brought some jars.
I have plenty.
All right. Well, I guess
He
I'll
like
spit in them.
opens up a drawer and has probably like 3 or 4 dozen empty jars and stuff, and hands you 1 or 2.
Then I will store the stuff that I produce.
Okay, you get 4 doses of the depressant. So fucking weird.
So how do I know what it is?
Stop suppressing.
Like, of which one it is? Is it because of what I tell
say-
based on tasting it or color or something?
I'll say that given time, you can figure out what they do. I'll say the harmful effects of most of these you would be immune to. Actually, no, I would say probably. Yeah, I'll say that you can choose whether or not you're affected by it. Because, like, normally you would have to consume it, but if it's your saliva, then you're already consuming it at all times.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll say given enough time to like, think about it and work with it, you can determine what each of these effects are. And I sent them the document that shares what all the stuff is. And the all of these effects are actually from the book Arcana of the Ancients, where it was called an evolution bud there.
Do these count as a layer for a number of layers that you get? Oh, they don't. Okay.
Actually, no, I'll say that, yeah, they do. Because, like, on one hand, I'm like, that's a lot of layers for you. On the other hand, it's like, what's one more?
Yeah, you got rid of that level cap in corruption, right?
Yes. Well, as long as you guys are in Del Diablo, you cannot die from having too many layers. However, if you leave, you will die if you do not have the ward. If you're at your like level of whatever it is, 7, I think, for you guys, and you
I'm at
leave
8
Del
now.
Diablo without the ward, you will instantly die.
Okay. I'm at 6, so.
Okay.
I thought it was 6.
I'm not-
I just
well,
want to
I
make
can-
sure.
I can survive with 8
There you go.
now
Yeah.
that I'm 14.
And somehow corruption druids can't. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so.
So,
I shrugged, but you couldn't see it.
meanwhile, what's Onyx doing? You're muted.
You're muted. Did you
I
cali
noticed that
yourself? Did you cali yourself?
No, I knew that I was muted, but I had to find the button. So I was like, where is it? And for some reason, like it's Zoom doesn't show the button. And the overlay
Press
on
Alt
Zoom
when
didn't
it
show
does
up.
that. When it does that, how you press Alt.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like I unfocus and refocus the windows. It worked. Onyx is just making herself a nice day with Lily and Chewy at their place. They're making cake, or at Onyx's place, actually, I should say. Doing some baking. Actually, not cake. They're making cookies.
Okay.
And yeah, Onyx is actually can cook pretty well. I don't know how well Lily can cook or bake, but Onyx basically just is doing some cooking and baking and teaching.
She's passable. She's not the best.
Yeah, she's mostly teaching or trying to teach as best as she can. Chewy, even though I have a feeling that a lot of the cooking and baking supplies disappear before they're even fully prepared. But Onyx was prepared for that, and she brought extra, a lot. I mean, she also bought additional stuff in ahead of time because she knew she would have to do a lot because Chewy just eats.
Yeah.
She's like a walking black hole. Food disappears into her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they're she's just making herself a nice day.
Okay.
Enjoying basically a day off, if you will.
Hera, I is asking if if Onyx is using a Sammy recipe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
She's also probably making her famous rock cookies.
Okay, now I have to know what rock cookies are. Do they look like rocks, or do they taste like
No,
rocks?
they look like rocks.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
nice
Kat, have you ever seen those tubes full of concrete that harden? Rock cookies.
Mhm.
Aerospace.
No, they do look like rocks basically, but they're like actual like normal cookies. They're like a little bit on the harder side, but they're not like they're like nice and crunchy on the outside, but like nice and squishy on the inside.
Mhm.
And chewy.
Chewy is very appreciative. As you guys are sitting down, Lily's sort of like, so what's your guys' plan after this? You guys, I heard that there's obviously more than just the anarchist shithead, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really someone to make plans.
I had no
I don't
idea.
like making plans. They usually go wrong. Or something comes in between or something like that. So I like to leave the planning to other people. I'm very in the moment kind of person.
I can appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm a bit worried about Passion. She wanted to meet with one of this like, what was it called? Circle of evil people or whatever.
She meant to go meet with them?
Well, with one of them resurrected her, and I guess she wants to know why. But she wants to go alone.
Okay. That seems like a really bad idea.
I know, but I mean, they resurrected her. They're not going to kill her, right? Right?
I mean, like, on one hand, I would say definitely not, because resurrection is really expensive. But from the rumors that I've been hearing, that's the lady that runs like the mega church. She's probably got plenty of money. I don't know if she's really going to be missing out on a 10K diamond. Or sorry, it was a 50K.
It was 25K.
Cool, in the middle.
I think
Because she had to use true resurrection, not actual resurrection, because she didn't have access to my body.
That's right.
I looked this up recently because I was like, what do I need to make sure that if Passion does die, she can be easily brought back? I was like, oh, nothing. I just need to give them a shit ton of money when I'm back.
Onyx actually pulls out her phone and she calls Passion.
I'm curious on what time it would be in Red Amy versus Del Diablo. I think we
How long-
talked about this.
How?
And I think it was 12 hours.
Yeah, the thing is, you were already awake when you went. So, like, how long after Passion left, do you think this is, Onyx?
I assume like sometime around like noon, afternoon, something like that. Like noon, early afternoon, 2 o'clock, something like that.
Any idea what that would be to Passion?
Passion is already dead.
So that would have, like, Passion would have left pretty early in that morning. So, but that probably would have been before. She probably would have. Well, I realized for one that if she had traveled at 2 o'clock, gotten there at about 12 o'clock, it'd be 12 at night. So she probably left way earlier than that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's probably awake, but she is definitely like probably she's probably staying at the Henshin HQ right
Okay.
now.
So I'll say this is after you
Yeah, after the meeting with Hope.
Yeah, but you haven't gone to meet the proselytizer yet.
No, she would have waited till daytime because
So your phone rings.
Yep. Ashton picks up. Hello.
Hey, Passion.
Hey.
I heard you. Listen, do you really think it's a good idea to go to that lady alone?
Nope.
Want backup?
It would be best for not. She pauses for a moment. You can hear the pause. At least if I go alone, we only need one person to be brought back. It'll be fine.
I'll be on my best behavior.
You can hear the eyebrow raise and the look of sure. She's like, it's easier if I go by myself with this one because, well, for one, they've seen me, and for two, even on your best behavior, you still are liable to headbutt someone.
Well, maybe you need someone to headbutt someone.
That is why I'm going alone. You could hear there's like a sarcastic note to that. She's like, I'll be fine. Aya's like, that's a really bad plan. Yes, I know.
You can hear the axe coming from Onyx.
I mean, I guess it makes two of us with the axe. Yeah, she is.
Listen, Passion, just wait for me. At least have me nearby.
I mean, meet you in where would we be meeting them? I'm assuming in not in Redami, because I figure that's not where their church is.
It will probably be in Rosa Gallica again,
Right.
probably at the cathedral.
And the passion would say, meet at Rosa Gallica at the same place we stayed the last time.
All right. Onyx
You're not coming.
takes-
Hold on, but you're not coming into the church. You're staying there.
Church isn't my thing anyway.
It's not mine either.
Also, last time I was in that church, I think there was like a corruption demon thing attack or whatever. It wasn't my fault. I did punch a dinosaur though. That was fun. Anyway, I'll meet you there.
All right, meet you there.
Onyx hangs up, then looks at Lily, is like, well, I guess I'm going to Rosa Gallica.
It seems so, yeah.
Hey, you can watch Chewie, right? I mean, you have enough food for the last year, like,
Couple of hours
12
at
hours?
least. Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. Also, I talked already with Seth, but keep an eye on him. And an eye on Chewie. I don't know how this stuff will affect her. But, she's still a child, developing and all that stuff. I think she could probably just eat it and be fine and nothing would happen, but I don't know what all he has. I don't know how, corruption affects his drugs or whatever, so rather not.
Noted.
You know how he is.
And you know that to get to leave the city safely without pinging off of every De-Fragger ever, you need to get a award.
Charm.
Yes, the
Yeah.
charm. Who did you want to go to for it?
I would go to what's his face?
There's Rocky and Curious Sage are the two that you guys know the best.
Yeah, I would go to Rocky. He's chill.
Balboa.
Maybe I can meet the teleportation wizard again, who was not the teleportation. She didn't teleport us, but the Trisaran who glamoured us. She was cute.
When you guys go into the club, it's different. The last time you were here and you walked into this club, everybody turned to stare at you, and you felt like that moment, that feeling you get when you know that everybody in the room is expecting you to break something. This one, it's a lot more disconcerting because it's a lot more like fans, and it's strange.
And everyone is running up and is like, yeah, can you break this?
There aren't actually that many people that run up to you, but you definitely, it's a very different feeling in the room versus that they're no longer afraid of you, and more so is like a sort of respect. And over in the like VIP section, Rocky has his feet up on one of the tables and is on a like tablet playing. Oh, hey, Onyx, how's it going? Haven't seen you in like forever.
Hi. Yeah, I need to go to Rosa Gallica.
Why?
Business.
Far be it for me to ask things, Jesus.
Nothing bad. I won't blow up the city or anything like that. Now I made you worried. I shouldn't have said that.
Yes, now you are making me worry. Yeah, uh-huh.
Listen, I'm just meeting a friend there, that's all.
Alright. Though I will say, I can do that, but when you guys get a moment when you're not doing like parades and becoming like upstanding members of society or some bullshit, whatever the fuck Demona's doing, I have a job for you guys.
Oh. I assume it's not one for upstanding members of society? Sounds interesting.
Oh, I mean,
It's completely
technically
legitimate
for-
business.
Yes. That might include you knocking some heads.
Oh, I like that. I like the sound of that.
And he stands up on the table to reach you to reach high enough to touch your forehead to give you the charm. Because even though you are short as fuck, he's still like gnome or halfling size, so he's like 2 and change.
Onyx is still twice as tall as him.
Yeah. So I'll say that you guys I'll sort of fast forward ahead to you guys find your way to the to meet up at, I believe you guys stayed at the Oakview Cottages, which were
Yes.
like small rental homes. And that when you get there, you know that Passion is already like has one that she's staying at. or
Yeah,
is
she would
rented
Passion
already.
100% would have called ahead, booked a thing. How much would that cost me, Kat?
Like 15 gold.
All right. Remove 15 gold. Oh, also, she would have, before leaving, the Henshin HQ, she would have made them aware of, find one of the people in charge, said, hey, if I die, just bring me back. I have the money for it. I'm glad you appreciate that one, Kat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like, if I die, if my recaster starts returning, just bring me back, more or less, to them.
Got it. Do tell the seasonal girls not to lock it up again this time, though.
I mean, I don't think they have it right now, so I don't
Good,
think we need to worry
good.
about that.
Yeah, so you guys meet up. I'll say Onyx, you come to the door of the place that Passion has rented. And I'm going to send you guys what this place looks like again.
Sorry, I was just looking through Passion's items, and I forgot that I have 69 gentleman gold.
Yeah, that was definitely intentional.
Yes,
Are they
yes,
now
it was.
Rocky dollars? Because the gentleman is no longer handling that kind of business, so they're now Rocky dollars or something like that.
They are now.
Renamed.
I love this
rebranded.
place. You should, I love the look of this place.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm going to post it into the Retroverse chat.
They're
for
rocky
Aya to see.
doubloons.
I
Rocky
posted
Ruples.
to Aya just so she can see it because I know she'll definitely appreciate
Oh, she
that.
would love this.
Rocky Ruples. Definitely.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait. Was Rosa Gallica the place that was attacked by dinosaurs, or was Rosa Gallica the place
Yes.
where we chilled and hung out and Onyx hung out with some magnetodons?
Yes. It was
Yes.
both
Yes
of
to
them.
both.
It was both of them. Okay.
So how did Passion intend to get a meeting with the proselytizer? Was she just gonna walk in and?
No, she called Jan's character.
Okay, that's right.
Set that up. She did that a bit ago.
I couldn't remember. So I'll say that you have a meeting that afternoon.
All right. So Passion will, when Onyx gets there, she'll open the door, kind of wait for her to get in, close it behind her.
Onyx gives her a hug.
Passion gives her a hug back. All right.
One of those lift up hugs.
The lift up hugs almost goes in for the suplex. Remembers his Passion. Continues the suplex. But yeah,
She can take it.
I do have temp HP now, so yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so I have a plan. I have a meeting. I want you to stay here because I don't want you getting them. I don't want this should go peacefully, I think. But in case it doesn't, I'll send you a message. All right?
How about before you go into the meeting, you just call me and leave the call open so I can, in case you don't
That's-
get the time to send a message.
That's fair. I mean, I could always just get my spirit animal to also come to you. You can enjoy Salem's company. She says with a very clear smirk.
I haven't seen Salem in like a long time.
Basically, since you died.
Yeah. It's only been a week.
Might feel like longer though.
But yeah, Passion will kind of
Will he
snap-
judge me? He's always judging me.
judging me. Passion will summon Salem.
I want to point out that Salem was there when was in your room when the hole was kicked into
Yes.
the wall.
No,
That's
that
why
was
Onyx is like,
No, that was Hertz.
oh, okay.
Passion has two cats. One
right.
one familiar and one spirit animal. The familiar one is the one that's almost always out because Passion loves that cat. And then there's Salem, who's an asshole.
Just sort of like stretches. Oh, hello. Nice to see you again for the first time since you died.
Nice to see you too. Hey, I might be dying soon again. Don't worry.
It's like a superpower or something.
Just he stretches again, and like the claw are extended very far.
Murder mittens.
Wait, can I even see Salem?
Yes,
You can see him. You can't touch
Okay.
him though.
So you don't have to worry about getting clawed to shit by him.
No pets for
Um,
Salem. That's probably why he's so cranky.
Passion can pet him.
Can't kill anything.
He can't claw the shit out of other people's hands, only Passion's. And that's why Passion doesn't give him
Fine,
pets.
she deserves it. So, how are you planning on getting yourself killed this time?
I'm walking into a person who's potentially an evil villain's lair by myself with Onyx's backup. I have a meeting
Okay,
set
well,
up
at
with them,
least the second part, that last part is new,
right? I'm improving, see?
marginally. Only took
Baby
Yes.
steps.
Honestly, she didn't really have a choice. I made it sound like she did, but
I mean, I could have
That's
just not.
good.
I
Nice.
could have just not told you where she was. I was going.
I mean, I'm not the smartest, but I could have figured it out. Listen, I would have punched a Henshin and told them to like look up your data or whatever.
Part of me wants to say that's a really terrible idea and probably would have gotten you thrown in prison for a
It's
while.
gonna throw me in prison.
The Henshin, the other Henshin in the building.
or I could have just nicely asked the seasonal girls. That would have
That
probably
wouldn't
helped
have
me.
gotten you thrown into prison. But I figure you probably would have gone with Plan A, then realize you could have gone with Plan B.
No, I
after.
wouldn't have punched the seasonal girls.
No, I say you would have punched the seasonal girls. I would have said you would have punched another Henshin.
Yeah, but I mean, the only other Henshin I would have punched that aren't Del Diablo are probably Shadow Henshin, so...
I mean, you know where the other Henshin
It's fine.
are.
They deserve punching.
Yep.
Though I think they're still licking their wounds after the fight on the moon.
I don't know.
Wait, did you guys not hear about that?
No.
Wait, I know what thinking. I like this. This is good. I like this.
I can
yes.
dismiss you at any point.
Fuck
I went-
off. Fine. Okay.
I went to the moon, but there were no Shadow Henshin there.
Okay, so what I hear from the grid is actually kind of missed all the excitement by a short while, Onyx. So, Project
Excitement?
V.
There was a whole meteor shower coming down on me, and I survived it by launching myself into a wall, so I think that was pretty cool, okay?
But did you see spaceships?
I was in a spaceship. I flew to the moon in one.
Anyway,
It wouldn't let me
Long
fly,
story
which probably
short.
was for the best.
when your friends found the other Sammy, Project V.
Vina.
Yes, the Lunar Knight. She was on the moon, which nobody knew except Volca, her spirit animal, and she wasn't talking. Anyway, your friends and the other one that you're dating, Sammy, went to the moon to retrieve her, and the Shadow Henshin shitheads found out that that's where she was at the same time, and there was a pretty big throwdown, including some really big Zords that haven't been seen in a long time, including one from the that was used by the Dragon Emperor in ancient times, which is strange and scary. And your friends almost, from what I heard, tried to pick a fight with something much bigger than them, but managed
That's
to
not a
barely
surprise.
survive.
That's not a surprise. That tracks.
But yeah, basically, big ass fucking battle on the moon between the Shadow Henshin and the regular and the good Henshin, and
Clearly they won because they're alive.
they kind of fucked each other up on both sides. Things got...
You're telling me I could have
Or
punched a giant
pretty-
robot?
Well, no, because you got there too late. The giant robot fucked off.
Could have.
Could have, yes.
Passion, we need to go back to the moon and find a giant robot to punch.
I
It's like,
don't
it's not
think
there
they're-
anymore. It's gone by now.
Well, it'll come back, right?
It fucked
Like,
up as soon as the warship showed up.
The warship.
He just curls up on like the bed or the couch or whatever. It's like, you really didn't pay attention at all for anything in the history of the Henshin stuff, did you?
She gives a look and says, "You realize I didn't even go to school. I kind of learned on the
but
job."
there's like a couple of the fundamentals. There's a fucking museum, Passion.
I only went there to see my stuff in there. The genuine look of pissed off from
You and Barkley get along so well.
no, they get along so terribly because they're both super self-absorbed and they fucking hate that about the other one.
I'm not like that. You're exactly like that.
Yes. He's like, yeah, we're not the only Henshin in the universe, shockingly enough. There are rangers in space.
Muscle Henshin.
Muscle Henshin are not a thing.
Yes, they
They're
are.
Henshin with muscles, but not the other way around.
Onyx holds up the belt. Oh my god.
That is a literal child's toy.
Onyx is really curious on how she can learn how to punch a ghost cat.
I mean, technically, I have key strikes.
I don't think the cat can still be
No.
hit, though.
Yeah, I don't think it technically counts.
It's not a ghost, actually, but...
Yeah.
Onyx, I must learn how to do this. I know what I'm going to learn how to cast Wish.
Wish I could punch a ghost cat.
Now, Onyx would like, if she had a wish, she wouldn't like, I want to be able to punch spirit animal cats or whatever.
I want to be able to punch everything.
No. Onyx would be like, I want muscle henshin to be a thing because that's way more spiteful. Muscle henshin aren't a thing. They are. They are now.
Okay. So, he's like, Henshin aren't native to Radix, which you know, considering. But before the Henshin came to the Moon Kingdom, they came from another planet. There are still a fuckload of them there. So between them and some of the other planets in the system, they form the interplanetary. Fuck, where'd it go?
Interplanetary fuck, where'd it go? Huh, that's
Nailed it.
name.
Perfect. Interplanetary Federation of Henshin. They handle all of the threats that are on the world. It's typically not a problem as far in as our system, considering we don't do a ton of travel to and from the other planets here, but apparently gargantuan-sized, multi-headed dragon Zord was enough to catch their attention.
I'm surprised.
I know, right? Yeah, but that's... Why are we talking about this? And not like you going to get yourself murdered again?
This time... I don't know. You decided to change the subject. I figured you used to it.
Okay, but I'm changing it back.
I'll save her. That'll be fine.
I have the money to come back anyways.
Right.
And if not, I'm like, if they kill me, I'm just gonna...
I have the money to come back, Onyx. We got a shit ton of money from the other Circle of Night person that's helped us.
Okay, but what? Wait, what?
Yeah, we have two people who in the Circle of Night who have helped us.
Listen,
have you not heard about this?
Listen, if the Circle of Bitches
Because I
kills you
haven't
again...
talked to you since you fucking died!
Passion says it super sarcastic.
Fluffs up.
Yeah, so I was brought back by a Circle of Night person, the person actually I'm going to meet right now. And then after that, we collected the bounty for defeating the anarchist that was set by another Circle of Night member. Oh, I'm going to meet him too soon.
This seems messy.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
you and me. I told you about this, Onyx, already. That I wanted to go talk to David.
Oh yeah, I want to talk with him too.
No, that's why you're not coming with me either. For that one especially.
God's face.
What do you want with him?
I want to find out why he's helping us. He's helping us. And he also said he wants us for another job.
Can I crush his skull after?
Maybe. It depends. Maybe he's going to help us take down the Circle of Night. Who the fuck knows at this point?
I have to bone to break with him.
The ones that you're gonna go talk to don't seem to be the ones that are like immediately trying to murder you.
Yeah. I mean, one brought me back to life and took away all my corruption, so I don't really know what to understand of anything at this point.
Huh.
Yeah.
Anyway, if the Circle of Bitches is trying to kill you again or something like that, especially that one, her church is not gonna fare well.
I don't think she's going to try and kill me. Why accept? I don't know, like, there's so many other ways, the easy ways they could kill me rather than doing it on their own lawn. So I don't think they're going to run into problems. Also, I mean, let's be honest. If I do die, the entire Henshin will, all the Henshin HQ will know that I died and that they killed me. So this is going to end badly for them no matter what, pretty much. If they do something. See, I can think ahead sometimes.
Salem sort of gets up from where he had been curled into a ball. So, what do you want me to do? Like, does the scritch behind the ear thing?
Keep Onyx company.
We can get some ice cream and oh no, wait, you're not Chewy.
Great, cool.
Passion says it.
Summon Justice, sit on my ass and do nothing. I could have done it out of fucking greed passion.
Yeah, but you can also serve to give Onyx a warning in case I get suddenly attacked.
I have some
Fine.
good friends. Maybe I can summon them. I don't know. It's not as reliable, but maybe it works. So you have some good company, I guess.
Some company.
Some company.
just hearing Hera start to say that, realize what she's saying, and then just
And just go with
sigh
it.
out of disappointment as she's saying it. All right. Strategy meeting's over, I guess. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Don't forget to call when you walk in so I can listen in.
Turn on the recording stuff from my helmet.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
I'm assuming at this point, I'm sure Tomo at this point has installed recording software onto everybody's fucking gear at this point. Or at least Passion's, because Passion would allow
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but when you go to the meeting, Streamlabs fucks up and the stream isn't recording properly.
Forgot to
So
record
you-
audio.
You get to the cathedral, and it's actually surprising. Like last time you were here, a lot of the like glass and a lot of it was kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like nothing ever happened.
Nice.
And it's just as busy as ever. However, you do notice that there are actually what's your passive perception?
Dog shit. I think it's like 11. Yeah, passive perception of 11.
You do see a handful of the like they're not really like police, they're more of like a town guard sort of thing
Mm-hmm.
that Rosa Gallica has that are like very obviously patrolling in the area.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Passion
Which makes
figured.
sense considering like one of the more powerful people in the universe just went on blast and told everybody that the head of this church is an evil
Mhm.
supervillain. When you walk up to the door, there are like two individuals that are like wearing the same garb as the rest of the acolytes, but are very clearly like a bit sturdier than most of the ones that you had
Mhm.
encountered the first time. Can we help you
Here for a meeting.
with?
I can't remember her name, Kat. My brain went proselytizer, but I know that's not her name here officially. It's
Her
one of
actual
those-
name is Holy Mother Helena.
Holy Mother Helena.
And they sort of look to each other. Very well. Come with us. And when they lead you in, it looks very much similar, but you can see that the people are a lot more on edge.
I mean,
And there are
There are many reasons for them to be on edge. One being,
Yeah.
you know, that they were attacked recently, and two being the fact that their leader is outed as a villain, effectively.
but it's strange seeing like they're trying to keep things going as
Normalcy.
normal. But
Which makes sense.
and the one individual leads you off to a actually, I'll say probably to the same room you guys had met before in the first time,
I was brought
in
back
that sort of garden area
Mhm.
with a huge pool. And when you walk in, she's currently sitting at the like wrought iron or silver table,
Mhm.
and currently writing in a book. Oh, Passion, hello.
Hello.
Sits down and close it. So, good to see you. I assume this is going to have to do with some of the accusations thrown around recently.
Yes. And
She looks to the other guy. You can go. He sort of like hesitates for a second and then obliges and walks out and closes the door.
Pesha will take a seat and kind of. Bless you, Luke, by the way. And they kind of just look at her. She kind of just looks. So is it true then? Because,
What are you asking?
well, you're part of the Circle of Night. Right?
I have had meetings with those in the circle. I know that you, of all people, understand the consequences, the reasons why someone would do something that seems unsavory if it's for the greater good.
She'll nod.
The circle would exist with or without my help.
Mm-hmm.
With my being there, I can do what I can to mitigate the losses.
That's why you brought me back.
That's why I had him put the bounty on the anarchist.
Okay. Well, it at least helps out with one question I was going to ask later on with someone else, but...
Well,
So, what's
he
his...
also didn't mind considering he hated his guts, but that's typically not my reasoning for wanting an individual dead.
So she kind of like... So what's with him, then?
With David?
Yes.
He's a peculiar individual.
I know, he locked me in his basement.
Oh. I'm sure that's not a euphemism, and he literally did that, right?
Yes,
Yeah, of course.
She kind of... Yes, I killed an undying slasher and a bunch of other weird stuff.
I've not seen the facility, but I've heard talk of it. It got eyes everywhere.
That doesn't surprise me.
All I know is that what everyone wants out of this is something that comes about after, that comes with the remaking of the world. Well, you know their names. The tyrant has a plan to help rewrite reality in his own image. A reality
by the
without
name,
corruption.
Judging by that name, that's not going to be a pleasant thing.
No. But he intends to create a world without corruption. A world without famine or hatred, bigotry. It's a world I can get behind. I understand that some of the actions that the others have taken, and I am complicit in, are unforgivable. But I'm willing to do everything I can to save as many as I can.
Passion, because you can just passion. You can just passion just kind of sighs. I hope you can understand that I will do everything to prevent him from doing whatever he's planning to do.
I would be shocked if you would do anything other.
Do you know anything else about the others in the group? Sorry, just I saw Callie posted Retroverse. Damn, Callie, I didn't realize I was working for Thanos.
I feel like that's kind of the point, Callie. You didn't know what you were getting into.
It's almost like
Or
you
kind of jumped in the
fucked up.
deep end. The Predator,
Mhm.
or David, he's sort of the attack dog. One of the most skilled warriors on the planet. Effectively unkillable, as far as I can tell.
As far as also the Ranger Prime could tell as well.
And also has, either very strangely or very fittingly, wants to find a way to die. That's what he gets out of this.
Yes, that
Onyx,
makes
world
sense.
where
Onyx out of the off. I'm happy to help him with that.
Onyx, I don't know how to, but I will certainly help you as much as I can with that. That makes sense.
The reality hacker is his ace in the hole, as it were, how he intends to make it happen. She can shape reality. She mostly does so in the virtual world, but I've heard rumors that she can do it to a limited extent in the grid as well. The collective is utterly terrifying, and I try to stay away from it as often as I can because I don't like prying into my thoughts.
Judging from what I've heard about them, yeah.
They are the source of many of the corrupted nuisances
I've heard of
plaguing
them
the
doing.
world right now.
I've heard of them doing stuff in not Del Diablo, in Red Amy,
Yes.
and we kind of figured that was him.
The tyrant is, of them all, the most dangerous and the hardest to predict. He's extremely powerful, hard to read. All I know is he's extremely old, has a power over corruption that rivals even my own. And that he wants this so badly, he's willing to do anything to get it.
I saw him fight Ranger Prime from Ranger Prime's memories.
I was sad to hear of his death, but I knew there was no way he would let any of this happen.
Well, hopefully he at least knows that his cause isn't gonna die. Because I will stop him. And I know that messes with your plans.
I don't do things for no reason, Passion. It wasn't just because of guilt that I brought you back.
I figured as much. That's why I came to meet you, because it makes no sense for you to bring me back just to kill me. And you wouldn't bring me back without knowing what I would be doing anyways.
I can't. There are many things I can't reveal. And I will obviously have to swear you to secrecy. But you and your companions are on the right track. And while they're becoming very quickly a thorn in the toe of my allies, I tend to like having friends on both sides.
Because either way that it goes, you still win.
I and my people win.
She'll kind of just nod to that.
That said, I will have to tell you that unfortunately the recording that you have going is now corrupted and no longer usable.
She kind of just shrugs. I figured. She's like, I didn't feel like arguing with Onyx.
It's understandable.
Hera just went pitch black.
And the only reason that I am still alive to have this conversation with you is because I've ensured I cover my tracks. You cannot share this information of what we spoke about, of this conversation, without the spell that brought you back being reversed.
Of course.
And staying that way.
She'll nod.
I don't like threatening death to you, especially to somebody that I consider someone I respect.
She kind of just looks at this. You have to keep yourself and your followers safe. I understand.
Yes.
She kind of just she kind of just chuckles a little. This isn't the worst threat I've ever had. At least this is the most polite one.
I pride myself on that.
Yes.
So dare I ask what your plan is now?
Well, potentially going to meet David. Because the last time we met, he mentioned a job. And also, I want to find out more about him. Because, you two are the only ones I've met that aren't trying to actively kill us at this point.
That's fair.
And, well, from there, probably go after the other members. Work our way up. Bring down the tyrant.
Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you.
And hope that the next time we meet, it's
Not
in
when I'm
a
a corpse.
slightly less tense setting.
She nods. Says, same here, but who knows when that'll be. And she'll kind of stand up, give it a little stretch.
She stands up with you and then picks up the book.
Mm-hmm.
I can show you that.
Thank you. And yeah, she'll head out, following her.
As soon as you guys go through the doors, you see like that same guard that same person that had followed you in, and like 5 other people in, still in the robes, but like clearly with like body armor underneath it, just immediately scatter. She just kind of looks at them, and they all sheepishly fall in line behind her. looks at you and says, "Do me a favor and try not to die this time. It was a very expensive diamond I had to sacrifice."
She kind of looked at it. I've already set up with the Henshin to bring me back if I ever do again.
Good to know.
She's like, that money is going to be used at some point.
I'm sure it will be.
And
Meanwhile, Onyx, how are you?
Yes.
Oh shit! Sorry. How are you attempting to communicate with your spirit Magnetodon?
I mean, before that, she just like kind of thought about it and tried to like see if they come or not. She
Okay.
doesn't have like a proper way of summoning.
Okay. Go ahead
Oh wait,
and
wait. Maybe I do.
Rages starts punching wall to keep rage active.
So
One
dumb.
moment.
It was actually a critical role thing at one point where just so that he could continue to be a beat stick, Travis Willingham's character just repeatedly punched a wall to keep
Yeah.
his rage going.
Because D&D makes no sense sometimes.
As long as you're taking damage, even if it's from yourself.
No, as long as you are dealing or taking damage.
Well, he was punching a wall, so he wasn't really doing any damage to a cave wall, but
Yes,
he was
but
cutting
it's-
his hand up.
But the cave
So
wall
it's
has
taking
HP. It has HP. That's the reason why it works. Matt Mercer did change the rules on that. The ruling is if you're making attacks or receiving attacks.
Okay.
Oh, can I have a
remember
definite
properly.
way to summon actually my guardian spirit at level 10 barbarian.
Okay.
Then I can commune with nature and basically kind of like, hey.
Okay. So I will say go ahead and make a wisdom check then.
Just basic wisdom. I mean, not that I don't think I have any.
Yeah, I'd say it would just
wisdoms.
be basic wisdom. You can, however, add your extra D10 though. That somebody gave you.
I think I'm gonna do that. That makes that dirty 20.
So you sit down and sit on like the bed in the small room and meditate for a few minutes. And just as you're starting to be like, this is bullshit, this isn't gonna work, you feel like that sensation of when you know somebody's watching you. And in your mind's eye, you sort of turn around and you don't see as much as you almost feel the shape of a magnetodon horn against your shoulder.
I knock my head against it.
It does the same, and the point of the kind of is uncomfortable. Sort of like the thing where you stub your thigh or whatever on the corner of a table.
Onyx is tough enough. She
yeah.
doesn't stub her toe.
And a few moments, a few seconds pass, and this darkness that you're imagining sort of fades into the image of a grassland. And you see a very large magnetodon sort of just affectionately leaning its head against you.
Hey, buddy.
I don't remember. Did it actually speak with you?
I can't remember if it spoke.
Okay.
But I think I think we communicated with one another, but like not like necessarily through speaking. Just
it sort of nuzzles further into you a bit, and then gives like a slightly more forceful one that almost knocks you, makes you stumble a step or two.
I immediately knock him back and then look around if Salem is also here.
I'll say that for a second you're like not sure that he is, and you're a little disappointed, and you see a sort of movement in the grass, and you realize that he doesn't seem as obvious here. It's like his form is not as visible, if that makes any sense. He's even more spectral here. But the Magnetodon immediately like turns from you to where the cat is, and that movement stops. And when it stops moving, you see its form become a little bit more clear. And just, holy shit! Okay, I thought you were joking about the Magnetodon.
Nope, I didn't. It's my guardian.
I don't think it's a Henshin spirit, but it's definitely a spirit, at least.
Onyx leans forward and is like, you say that you studied Henshin history and all that stuff. But nowadays, all the Henshin only have like these teeny tiny animals that are like guiding them or whatever. This is from ancient times. Isn't that right, buddy? And she like knocks him again and it's like and whispers to him, play along.
He knocks you back and like paws angrily at the ground. Salem just kind of like sits and does like that irritated tail curl around himself. Like, that's fair. In ancient times, we were allowed a little bit more liberal forms. But this isn't sort of like shrugs. This isn't my true form. This is a representation.
Oh.
I wasn't always a cat. I don't remember what it was before, but it could have been a person. I could have been a Henshin. I could have been a dragon, or even one of those things.
Cat.
Or a fucking cat. Probably not a cat.
How about a rat?
No.
An ant.
You've made your point. It's impressive. And Cat sort of like stands up and strolls over to the Magnetodon, and you can sense like the Magnetodon tensing and like the sort of not like aggressive move, but you get the feeling of like, what do I do? Do you really want me to punt this cat across the yard, or do I just stand here?
He's fine. He's harmless.
And Cat sort of like comes closer and like does twirls between his front legs, and Magnetodon just sort of lifts it up curiously. And Cat walks over. All right. You might not be a Henshin, but it's pretty cool.
Muscle Henshin.
Not a thing. Not a thing. I'm glad you got passions back, though.
I always do.
Even though the two of us don't always see eye to eye. Passion has a good heart. She's a good Henshin.
What praise for passion coming from you?
It's fine. She's not here.
Now I have leverage.
Honestly, now I'm a Hemosol Henshin. Say it.
Just do me a favor, and next time she does something dumb like this, do this again. I don't know what it took for you to convince her to let you come along, but
Just gave her a call. And I told her I'd be on my best behavior.
I suppose I could try that occasionally. All right. Onyx, the not really muscle henshin. Keep her safe.
Ah, well.
And the cat strides off into the distance before vanishing from your sort of spectral vision.
Onyx nuzzles against the Magnetodon again. It's like, always good to see you, buddy.
He does the same to you.
I'll later maybe like less passion dies or something like that. I'll probably seek out the Magnetodon herds here again.
Okay.
Like she also tells the her guide.
I'll say that your meeting isn't very long, Passion. So after you're done, you would, I assume, probably text or call Onyx. You're
I just realized I was muted. I said Passion would definitely send a text saying, "Hey, on my way back."
Okay, I'll say Onyx that you hear that notification
Okay.
and can sort of let your vision fade away.
Onyx is like, gotta go. I'll try to show up every once in a while, more often. I think, you know, it's nice.
He head nuzzles you again, enough to sort of knock you almost feels like out of the vision.
He knocks me out and like, go already.
Yeah. And I'll say, as you come to, you see Salem just sort of like staring at your cell phone on the bed next to you. Well, she's not dead, at least. That's good.
Nope. She survived. Onyx actually texts her back and is like, well, now that this is over, unless you have another very dangerous meeting on the docket like right now, since I'm in Rosa Gallica anyway, I would like to like just, you know, find my friends here again and just hang out a little. You can come meet me there. X? That's a message you just received.
Sorry, what was that? My brain just completely shut off.
I
for a
could
moment.
tell. I could tell. Onyx just telling Passion that she's going to meet her friends here, and that if she wants, she can come and meet her there too.
Passion will just send a thumbs up.
Okay.
Onyx looks to Salem and is like, "You can come too.
All right.
They have
Let's go."
babies. They're cute."
And he just like steps through the door spectrally, doesn't need to open it.
Yeah, Onyx just basically like looks around for the Magnetodons that live in the city once more. And on her way there, she would like get some food for herself and something she can like some treats that you could give the Magnetodons as well.
Magnetodon treats. It's just pieces of metal.
I mean, considering this city, they probably do sell like animal treats at every street corner, more or less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's like they're living among them, so like people just like wanting to like give like a treat to an animal is probably not that uncommon.
Mm-hmm. I'll say that so Magnetodon tend to favor some of the like local fruits of the area that tend to be very high in like mineral content. And they can eat just regular ass metal, but they also like to mix up their diet with like fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
And you two can meet up there with Onyx in a crowd of like 5 Magnetodon, 3 of which are adults and 2 are relatively young. The smallest ones are probably about the size of like a big dog, like a German Shepherd.
Onyx by itself like, hey, I got ourselves some wraps, and you can also feed them. Like, I got tons of fruit here.
You see Salem stride up to you.
Onyx also like turns to the magnetodons and points to Passion is fine. She's not gonna hurt you or anything like that.
The one sort of looks at you. Are you actually using Speak with Beasts?
Oh, I can do that, right? Yes, I would have. I would have cast Speak with Beasts.
Okay.
Man,
Or
Cat, you
Speak
get
with
to use
Animals.
all the
I
weird
know!
choices today.
The one that you can tell is definitely like the head of this small cluster is like a older male one. It's probably like the father of many of them, or at least the other three. Sort of says, "She is safe. Good. Yes.
She's safe."
And sort of like turns and strides toward you, Passion. Not like running, but like it's a large animal coming towards you relatively quickly. And as he like stomps past the cat just sort of like, I don't think it's gonna gore you. And it stops right in front of you and just leans down the head.
We'll just kind of Passion will reach up because Passion is also very short and pat on like rub on the head.
It leans into it a little bit, like scuffs the dirt, and Salem just like jumps out of the way because
Dirt fly.
large animal. Salem's like, so how'd it go? I can see you're not dead.
Glad of you to notice. Well, it went well. Unfortunately, I can't tell you anything about it.
That sounds like horse shit.
I
And I know we ran into a herd of horses in this fucking park. It was
She looks-
terrible.
I
I
mean-
don't step in it, but I can still smell it.
mean, unless you want me alive, I can't tell you about the meeting.
She threatened you?
Kind of. Just a thing in the spell she used to bring me back that if I share this any of the information, I die.
Sounds like
Okay.
bullshit.
I mean, do you want me to share the information? You can test it out.
No, it's just I don't like it. Is what I mean. But here, have a wrap.
Starts eating it.
It's a
Okay.
veggie wrap.
Easy. Yeah, here to the man. But we don't have anything to worry about for them.
And I'll say, unless you guys want any other little bit of a scene here, we can close there for the night.
Onyx just plays with the kids, gives belly rubs.
They're very excited about it.
tickles them, plays headbutt with them.
They
God.
also tend to really like chasing and get annoyed and confused when they can't punt the spectral cat across the yard.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm sure Salem is very happy for that.
Oh, he's not happy.
no,
he's
happy
not
that they
happy.
can't punt him.
Oh, yeah.
I also imagine like Onyx, like doing like little push duels with them with the little
Mhm.
ones. She would definitely lose against the big one, though.
Yeah, definitely.
What is a magnetodon strength?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too,
Pretty good.
actually.
Most dinosaurs' strength and con are pretty nice.
I was gonna say, I know how much a laser corgi's strength
Considering
is,
it's
but...
kind of like a rhinoceros and they like to charge things out, I think it'd be pretty high.
Yeah, it's pretty high, I think. Yeah. I can't remember the exact thing, but
Mhm.
Hey, Cyberus,
Yes.
do you want to give do you want to give Onyx and Passion a surprise visit in Rosa Galaga?
The band back together.
I guess.
Okay.
did I miss something?
Can we go to?
Did you know
can
they
we
were
go-
there?
Well, didn't she mention it?
I don't
I think
any of us...
Vex said that she was going. I mean, Passion said she was going at some point.
Yeah. Passion
I
would have
also
said
said
she's-
not to follow.
Oh, then okay, whatever. And then Grok just puts both of his legs up on the coffee table and turns on the TV.
I was waiting for the response to be, oh, we've never listened to her anyways. Let's go.
Oh, and at this point, Grok has big antennas. Like where tiefling horns would be with their antennas. They might be rust monster antennas.
Well, keep it away from everything.
Oh, no. I totally understand what it does.
Oh, it's actually not that bad. A Magnetodon has 22 strength.
Just like make sure you only touch the.
What if someone like
on
walks
the
in and you're
couch when
surprised and
get
you
up?
spin your head around and it flicks it?
Oh no,
So
I can completely control them, and you just see them like moving around, and I'm like, I just think they're neat.
Also, hold on. Just the idea of how Cyberus worded that spin your head around, stands up and just the head just starts doing 360s.
Just meant spin it less than 360. Towards the sudden
They
sound.
actually kind of look like kelp. Now I think about it, the antenna for them look really weird, like almost like
yeah,
moth
they look
antenna.
really weird.
So Magnetodons actually have 22 strength, so basically 2 higher than Onyx, or
What's
1
their con?
modifier higher than Onyx. And
So
a
what you're
con
saying is-
of
Hey,
18,
the
same as
con
Onyx.
Cyberus.
Same as
Same
Onyx.
as Cyberus.
But they're also huge sized.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is probably what would happen if Onyx were to like, she could probably like also, especially considering her athletic score, she could just like, she could stop one, but it would not be pretty.
Would Gruk's rust monster fluids be like acid to a Magnetodon?
Not really, because only the only
Not
part
to
of
the
the Magnetodon is
Magnetodon
metal.
specifically, but the parts
Just
that
to its
it's
horn.
controlling. Yeah.
Its horn and its armor, yeah. Because
I mean,
Magnetodons are not
the-
all metal.
Also, keep
Yeah,
in
but
I thought they
mind.
might have like metal in their skin.
Also, keep in mind if we have stuff that's not ferrous metal, I can touch with the antenna and it's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
In the horn, also
weird.
it's like it's not made of their body parts or anything. It's basically it is metal
At
that they
face right now. I'm
control. Yeah.
super curious on what
Yeah.
she's looking at now.
It doesn't have a like gore attack. The only thing the metal like horn thing does is add +2 to attack and
Mhm.
damage.
Does it do piercing damage?
Okay, so the headgear generally falls in 3 categories. Damage grants +2 to damage rolls and allows the Magnetodon to choose between bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing
makes
damage for its slam
Yeah.
attack.
Okay. Easily could be
It doesn't have a
thematically
charge.
a charge.
Oh.
there.
It should have like a charging attack, like a lot of the
Like
other-
rhinos
Yeah, right?
Yeah, like rhinos and such.
Yeah.
or boars or rams.
But I'll say that we'll leave off with Onyx and Passion having basically a picnic in the park with a bunch of Magnetodons and a very uncomfortable Salem. And Cyberus and Gruk hanging out, watching TV, and figuring out how the fuck to play with how the fuck to best use their new levels of corruption.
Cyberus does have a couple days of errands to do to get the rest of the stuff from that list. So he would do that now while we're not
Since,
doing much else.
since I'm watching TV, why don't we make that actually useful? Is there any interesting news going on? Maybe not just
Oh,
local.
okay.
Maybe I don't know.
I will say
Neo-Rad Emmy things happening there. Would they pop up on like international news?
the thing is that Del Diablo is pretty isolated from the rest
I
of the
was
world
gonna
because they
say.
don't do a ton of reporting on other stuff in the world unless it affects Del Diablo itself. I'll
They're
say,
interviewing our
let me think
squirrel
about
friend
exactly
again
what you would in.
for his business.
The one guy that always shows up on TV.
Swirly.
I mean, you guys probably do see your face on TV a lot more than ever before, and it's probably a little
Well,
concerning and strange.
Aside from Passion.
Yeah, other than that.
Yeah,
There's
Grug's,
old faces on there, right?
Grug's definitely not comfortable with seeing his own face on screen.
I mean, it's probably only his corgi face.
Still, he knows it's him. You know.
So,
Demona would probably have a information network that spans other cities, just from contacts and things.
Yeah, but I
I'll
was
say,
just trying to see if like,
Yeah.
add one
She'd
last
spit out
thing
a bunch
on
of
the
rumors for us?
TV or something, because
yeah.
he's just
I'll
sitting
say
watching
next
TV,
time
but
I'll
it's
let
whatever.
you guys know what you can pick up from the news, because I have to look at my notes and determine everything.
I was just wanting to add a little bit of flavor, but it's no big deal.
A lot of the news right now is probably going over of like recaps of the parade and everything, and then still talking about like the efforts to try and repair the damage that were done by the burners and those sorts of things.
Okay.
And occasional reporting on this Circle of Night. It seems like that aspect has gotten here, but it's nowhere near as thorough as the information that you guys have.
Okay. While I'm doing that, I'm probably pre-rolling up blunts and joints for passion.
Okay.
Something to do while watching TV. I mean,
Nice.
how much do we got upstairs? I
Yeah.
gotta do something.
Not
with it.
not as much in her room anymore because she needs to sleep in there, but she
Well-
definitely has been
well,
drying
yeah,
it out.
But Gruk was probably just like, yeah, okay, no, I'm gonna dry it out over here, and we'll
Yeah.
use it later.
Yeah.
You could always take over the nearby, like the next door building, and use that just for plants.
People
Just
live there.
overflow the building with plants.
Well,
Just
yeah, that's
break
true.
the economy with drugs. Yeah, so we'll pick
can
up there
take it.
next time
in game.
with the crew becoming drug lords.
Gruk would be cool with that. Whatever.
I'd be a drug viscount.
I mean, Cyberus is already one step closer. And we'll pick up there next time. Going around for plugs. Vex, what do you have going on?
Well, you can find me on my Twitter at VexyHexy. You can also find me on Twitch every other Saturday at 12:30 p.m. EST, where Hera runs a Masks game on my channel at Fractured Moon D&D. Also, bi-weekly every other Thursday at 8 p.m. EST is Saffron Academy, and I'll leave Starfall for Hera to talk about more. But Saffron Academy, which I as Scotty are in,
Mhm.
and Kat, and Kev, and Callie, and Dylan.
A
I
lot
think
of
that's
a lot of faces you might recognize from.
Yeah, people you recognize from this channel.
Yeah.
And they're all great, and it's a blast, and shit's going down next episode. Also, Halloween is happening,
Yeah.
and that'll be fun. I have to figure out what Shane is going to dress up as for that. And that's it for me. Also, go follow Alt at Altaziel. Alt draws amazing art and cute girls, and that is all. There we go.
Oh my god, there are so many things happening in the Discord right now.
You're
Luke, what
welcome.
do you have going on?
I just play this game, and the only other game that people know about is the vampire one. That's on alternating Saturdays from this Friday.
Yeah,
They're up on YouTube now.
they
But
are
maybe Kat
indeed.
should promote that. Nah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
go for it.
I have no proper names or websites,
It's
so I'll leave the rest up to you.
Hera, what about you? What do you have going on?
Vex already mentioned it, but I have the Starfall Academy, which will return on the 30th. No, 31st. Sorry, it's a Sunday, 31st. And last where we left off, two people went on a date and then ended the date by falling out of the sky together. It's fun.
That's romantic. They fell for
Sounds
each
like
other.
this game. Did they land?
No, not yet. We left it on a fall hanger, if you will. It's not really a cliffhanger because they're falling. They're not hanging anywhere. They're just falling right now.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. All right. That's it now for me.
So Luke mentioned it. We finally now have our Baltimore by Night, our Vampire 5th Edition episodes going up on YouTube. It is going up on the channel Crow and Chimera. The end is an ampersand, but you should be able to find it with either one. Where we'll play vampires. Right now, I only have episodes 1 and 2 as public. Those in our Discord get a little bit of a early treat to see episodes 3 and 4. And episode 4 is where shit gets. We find the plot. And I am excited and terrified for next episode because Aya is going to get her character Cozy fucking murdered.
I mean, what's new? I mean,
We're
did
She's
she
trying as hard as she can.
Isn't the
She's
only
trying
reason
so hard.
Isn't the only reason why she's not dead currently because Kev didn't want to look up the combat rules.
Yes.
Yes. That's
And
actually
isn't
what he
needed
said to
with
us
the-
the other night.
We have first-hand account from Kev from last night in our game.
Honestly, like though, I feel like it's better that he didn't because it's so much scarier this way. Yeah, but go watch that. It's cool as hell. Also, I make stuff for 5th edition. I have a racial supplement on DM's Guild for Aarakocra and Kenku called Birds of Paradise. It's super cool. I co-wrote it with Florian from Poison Potion Press, and he actually just announced that I believe we now have Trash Mob minis for some of the characters in that PDF.
The
So go
human
check it
lady
out.
and the penguin one.
For Magdalena, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go check it out. It's awesome. Also, our friend Jan just released a supplement on her DM's Guild thing that is called the Dragon Song. It's a bard subclass, and it looks awesome. It's so much fun. She asked me for some input on some of the mechanics for it, and it looks awesome as hell. So go check that out. And her DM's Guild handle is the Sphinx Library.
Or on Twitter at Library Sphinx.
Yeah. Scotty, do you want to close this out?
Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone who used the in-channel points, the quackatrons.
Oh yeah, write
earlier.
that stuff down, guys.
Okay, I'll write it down right now.
Crap. That was a lot of stuff.
I'll
Yeah.
put my 3 advantages in my 2d10s.
I'm gonna say this at the end because Uncanny Adventures did this, but the player's not here right now. Demona has a D10,
Oh, okay.
so make sure, Demona, if you're watching this, that you add that D10. Well, we'll probably let you know in Discord too. But...
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the last note will be our next game will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we continue Ghost of Saltmarsh, where we're continuing the long gauntlet that is Tamarot's fate, where the group's been fighting wave after wave of undead. Spell slots are getting low, key points are getting low. Who knows how much longer they'll be able to hold out. And yeah,
Yay!
that'll be tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.